Hello, welcome back to the shed. Welcome back to Genesis chapter 2. So, quick recap before we get going and a little bit of work. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel. That would be amazing. We are looking currently in our new series, a conspiracy series, but today we are looking at Genesis, the stuff that creationists believe in, so that we can take a better look at that stuff is to actually read the text, where they get their beliefs from. So we are doing that. So in Genesis part 1, a quick recap on chapter 1, we saw how God basically created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. So we're now on day 7 of creation. That's, I believe, the facts are, to be fair, the universe is 13.8 billion years old. The Earth is 4.5 or 4.6 billion years old, and we go around a star which is about 4.8 billion years old. So it's a bit older than the creationists would have you believe. But there you go. This was written over 6,000 years ago. This is by people who didn't understand this because they didn't have that knowledge. We're just going with what they knew at the time. And we can't blame them for not having the knowledge if it wasn't known. So, got myself another coffee. Chapter 2. So, chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all their multitudes. So, well done. Just 6 days, and the globe that everyone we have ever known or will know was created. If you believe this book, everything was created. So again, the first line of the second chapter is creationist scientific evidence that they use as fact. And I've certainly, highlighted the word fact there. That's that facts. And on the seventh day, God finished the work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all the work that he had done. I'm sure they just repeated themselves twice there, but if you're able to create everything in just 6 days, did he really need to stop? What else might he have possibly created? How much more magnificent could he have made the universe? Put a bit more effort in, God. Come on, you. So God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it God rested from all the work that he had done in creation. Well done, you. This is actually a good line, as it means due to religious influences throughout the world, people get time off. I'm never saying this book is full of crap, but some of the stories. Let's just continue. These are the generations of the heavens and the earths, when they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. More creationist bullshit, and the universe is generally considered to be around 13.8 billion years old. Our current star, the sun, is approximately 4.8 billion years old, and it is a regular third generation star, not too big and not too hot. With our planet placed in the Goldilocks zone, which means that we're not too hot, not too cold. We are in the right place at the moment. When no plant on the field was yet in the earth, and no herb of the field had yet sprung up, the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was no one to till the ground, whatever till means. The earth has evolved over 4.6 billion years, and life has evolved over 4 billion years. It wasn't just there, as it tries to say in this part of the Bible. It just wasn't. It takes evolution through natural selection. But the stream would rise from the earth, and the waters the whole face of the ground. Rivers that forged over hundreds or thousands of years. They didn't just rise. There are tectonic plates which move land masses around the globe. These also create earthquakes and volcanoes, among other geological anomalies, which also means that where our current continents are have moved. Currently, India, which is a subcontinent on its own, it's huge, is still making its way into Asia. Everest is still rising slightly. It won't get much bigger because of gravity. And there's another little topic that we'll get onto with our flat earth friends a bit later. Where were we? Oh, yes. Line 7. Then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. Evolution through natural selection has been happening over 4 billion years. Science have proof of this by doing experiments. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. This is the thing for me, okay? We'll forget what I've written there for a moment, but in the east, what does that even mean? You can stand anywhere on the globe. Anywhere can be east, anywhere can be west. It doesn't make sense. Let me actually read what I wrote because I think it's a bit stupid, but it's a bit right. Here it's a bit vague. Eden is in the east. East of where, for example? If I stood in a field and a cow is to the east of me, that cow is in the east. Now, in a different field, which is next to the field that I'm in, which is to the west, it has a different cow. This one is to the west. Now I leave the field and I'm going into the field the other cow is in. Walk past it. Now I have two cows to the east, but there's no fixed position other than east. But the west side cow is now east of me. A vague Bible. Does that make sense? I'm sure that makes sense. In my head, that made sense. Apart from the fact that I wrote crown rather than cow for the last one, it made sense. But yeah, so explain east. Tell me where the east is. Because if I'm in Los Angeles, sure, we'll take that. Not exactly east, but New York is to the east of you. But the Middle East is probably more to the west of you. There you go. Who knows? Anyway, that really doesn't matter. That's just vagueness of the Bible. Out of the ground the Lord made to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So, currently on Earth, so bearing in mind this is about 6,000 years ago, so there's not going to be a massive difference here. Looked it up off of the internet, so it must be true, but there are approximately 73,000 species of trees, so I guess Eden is pretty darn massive. A river flows out of Eden, the water to water the garden, and from there it divides and becomes 4 branches. No problem with rivers branching off. This happens. The name of the first is Pison, I think. It is the one that flows around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. Okay. Pison is part of the Nile. Guess the gold is sand. And the gold is of that land is good. And the gold is that land is good. Peplum and oxen stones are there. Okay. Don't know what these stones are. Guessing they may be mountains. And the name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one that flows around the whole land of Cush. Okay, maybe it's the Mediterranean Sea. Rivers don't tend to be moats. The name of the third river is Tigris. This one I've heard of, which flows east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Eperantes. Okay. Anyone know really where these rivers are? Probably not. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden. Till it and keep it. Don't really understand the writing of this line, but don't quite. Hang on, let me read that again. This is my own writing as well, so this is the scary bit. Don't really understand the writing of this line, but get quite what? To fill it and keep it. Still, I'm not really the best at English literature, as this was interpreted from a different language. It won't all be literally accurate, I guess. And the Lord God commanded the man, you may freely eat of every tree of the garden. Well, there you are, over 73,000, so I guess that will be good. Many bear fruit, so Adam shouldn't have a problem finding food, and the fruit is in season. Sorry, when the fruit is in season, mind you, they don't mention seasons briefly. They only mention seasons briefly, so this might be a possible problem. Let's move on. Seasons briefly, they mention seasons once so far in the whole of the Bible. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for the day that you eat of it you shall die. In the garden of around 73,000 trees, you only need to know which one it is. Do something so you 100% know which tree it is and stay away. Then the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper and his partner. His helper and his partner. There you go, ladies. Equal opportunity Bibles. Done. The past. Eve isn't even Adam's equal. Not on your Nelly. She will be his helper. So out of the ground the Lord God formed every animal of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them, and whether the man called every living creature that was his name. So he's going to name every animal. How would he know what to call them? Imagine, what shall I call this one? I reckon I would be like, mate, can't you say what they are? He created everything but couldn't be asked to name them. But surely he named Adam, didn't he? He doesn't actually say who named Adam, so don't know. The man gave names to all the cattle and all the birds of the air, and to every animal of the field. But for man there was not found a helper as his partner. What? But for the man was not found a helper as a partner. So it is obviously written by man. Woman could never be an equal. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man. He slept. Then he took one of his ribs and closed up its place with flesh. So I'm not going to ruin the next line, but God attacked Adam by making him sleep, then taking a rib that could be painful in the morning. What do you reckon, people? Have a rib taken out? Anyone's ever broken a rib? I personally haven't, but I've broken a collarbone. It stings a bit. And the rib that the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman and brought her to the man. This is like what happened on Doctor Who. See, in the Christmas Invasion, a doctor had his hand cut off. As it was within 48 hours of regeneration, he grew another. However, the cut off hand was kept in something like a Bapter tank from for Star Wars. Anyway, in the end of the world, Donna Noble and the Daleks created a second Doctor, but this one was a man with only one heart. Okay, lost it there a little bit, but surely that's the same sort of thing. Apart from the sex, there you go. Then the man said, this at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called woman, for out of man this one was taken. What? So let me read that again. Then the man said, this at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called woman, for out of man this one was taken. Makes a lot of sense, but basically she was taken from him. This is some pseudoscience stuff. Yep, don't really get that. Total nonsense. Therefore man leaves his father and his mother and clings to his wife, and they become one flesh. This is a way of saying they had children. I'm guessing this is the part where God hates homosexuals. Oh, Bible in the past. And the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed. Put your pants on, man. Okay, so that's chapter 2. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Some pretty full-on bullshit in there on chapter 2. It is believed the first 5 books were written by Moses from off the Ten Commandments. This will be coming soon. Anyway, chapter 3 will give us how a woman is not as smart as man, easily tricked, and a serpent suddenly turns up. Like, because, of course it did. Not just any old serpent, it was a serpent that talked. So that's coming soon. Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget. New series this is. Chapter 2 that was. Coming next will be Chapter 3. Hope you're enjoying Bible studies with your man in a shed. Genesis. It's only gonna get darker. And they say that the Bible is the good book. Well, there you go. Anyway, see you, pals.